Hello everyone, today's video is on how I do detail animation and what detail animation is. So in a nutshell, detail animation is where you have an already existing animation, such as a walking animation or a more explicit animation, and you want to, you want to add detail to it. But importantly, you don't want to destroy the overall existing animation. So if it's a cyclical animation, like a walk cycle, you don't want to destroy the general nuances of motion that are involved in that cycle. And so you could do it through keyframing. You could use the graph editor for it. But if you do it that way, then you have to move every individual frame. And then when you do that, unless you're really meticulous, it tends to be a bit snappy and jittery if you do it that way. So the way I do it is I do it through the motion editor, which is what I'm going to be showing shortly. So I do indeed animate using the graph editor explicitly. I always animate in the graph editor except for detail animation. So Momiji is here again with the same audio from the previous lip sync video. These two are actually related, as you'll see at a later date. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play through it right now.
I know what he said, but he doesn't control my life.
So it's just a simple walk cycle that I just put on for my Dad's Animations resource project, DARP, and I extended the lip sync a little bit to give this video some more substance. So we're going to do some detail animation at this point. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over to the motion editor, and in this particular case, when she finishes talking, I'm going to just kind of tween this out a bit so she returns to her normal position. And then I'm going to start, because there's a little bit of space between the beginning of the shot and when the audio begins, so I'm going to come here. And I'm just going to tween to right when she starts talking. I'm going to come over here. And then I'm going to grab her head and her neck bones. I'm going to come over here and set my rotation mode to local. Okay. And then I'm going to have her head move like this. So now. In fact, I think I can have it move a little bit more even. There we go. Okay, so now now she's going to bring her head up when she does this. No. Queen. Then we're going to come over here. I know. Okay, so that's a bit. And we're going to go like this so it blends a little bit. Okay, and then at this point we're also going to have her eyes move. And her eyebrow furrow. And I think with this one, we're going to actually have her entire upper body move a little bit now. Her chest rotate that way. And her head go like this. Maybe tune her eyes a bit more to come back towards Kasumi a bit. There we go. There we go. Go like this.
I know what he said.
And then with the sad. So we're going to have her go like this. She's going to kind of do a build up. And we're going to have her eyelids go like this.
I know what he said.
Head. And then this is going to have her head back up. Okay, I'm going to adjust this.
I know what he said.
Okay, and then we come over here. And we have her head come back. And her eyelids adjust and her eyebrow come up.
I know what he said.
And then this, we're going to have her head and her spine start moving back. For the next phrase, which I won't do for the sake of this video. And we have her eyes come back, because her eyes move faster and they lead where she wants to go.
Said.
Not that fast, though.
Said.
There we go. And then we come over here. And we bring that back.
I know what he said.
Okay, and then as a final little detail, we will put a blink in here. So blinks, I always do 2 frames out and 3 frames in. That's the way I always do blinks. Or just casual blinks. Come over here, and then for the blinks, I always do half or about 3/4 eyebrow raise, eyelid bottom raise, and lower. I do the same for both.
I know what he said.
There we go. So then we come in, and we just gotta move the camera in for a focus on this.
I know what he said. I know what he said. I know what he said. But he... I know what he said.
There you go. So that's basically how I do detail animation. So again, like the lip syncing, it's not difficult. It's very intuitive. You just sort of intuit the motions, and it takes a while. That's the real downside to it. It's like I did, again, about 2 seconds, and it took me about 5 minutes to do it. And if I weren't commentating for it and I was just hacking at it, I could probably get it done in 3.5 to 4 minutes, these 2 seconds, just like the lip syncing. So that's detail animation. That's how I do it. This is obviously a very contrite, very trivial example, but it gets the point across, and you can apply this mechanism to really anything.
I know what he said, but he doesn't control. I know what he said.
So yeah, there you go.